Imagine waking up on a crisp morning, the sky painted in soft hues of rose and gold, and instead of reaching for your phone, you sit up, take a deep breath, and allow a gentle sense of calm to wash over you. The world outside is silent, save for the faint hum of dawn stirring, birds whispering in the trees, a neighbor's distant footsteps on the pavement. In this moment of stillness, you are not a passive observer of your own life. You are its author, poised at the very first line of today's unfolding story. In an era defined by relentless notifications, 24/7 news cycles, and the siren call of social media, we have grown accustomed to starting each day at the mercy of external demands. We check emails before our feet hit the floor, scroll through feeds to chase away any lingering grogginess, and respond reflexively to every ping and buzz. Yet the ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, taught that true happiness and resilience arise not from external circumstances, but from the governance of our thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire yet constantly reminding himself of the primacy of inner virtue over worldly distraction, wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This realization is the keystone of a Stoic-inspired morning routine, a blueprint for transforming what might feel like mundane repetition into a sacred ritual of self-mastery. Over the next pages, you will explore 10 foundational strategies, each rooted in timeless wisdom and adapted for the rhythms of modern life. These practices form a seamless narrative, guiding you from the moment you awaken to the moment you lay your head on the pillow, and ultimately inviting you to craft not just a morning routine, but a life brimming with purpose, resilience, and joy. 1. The quiet breath. Claiming the first moments before the world can dictate your inner state, grant yourself the gift of quiet. As your eyes open, resist any impulse to check your phone or pull your blanket tighter for just 5 more minutes. Instead, swing your legs over the side of the bed and press your feet into the floor. Feel the solid earth beneath you. Inhale deeply through your nose, sensing cool air travel down into your diaphragm. Exhale softly through your mouth, releasing any tension that lingers from yesterday's struggles. Now, settle into a comfortable seat, on a cushion, on the edge of your bed, or even cross-legged on the floor. Close your eyes and place one hand on your chest and another on your belly. For the next several breaths, shift your focus entirely to the subtle rhythm of your body. Notice how each inhalation feels like a gentle tide rising, how each exhalation is a wave receding. If your mind drifts toward tomorrow's to-do list or last night's unfinished conversation, acknowledge the thought without judgment, then guide your awareness back to the breath. Spend at least 5 full cycles here, but do not rush the process. Allow each breath to be a mini ritual. Inhale, observe, exhale, release. With every round, imagine you are softening the muscles in your face, your shoulders, and your jaw. Let the breath quietly massage the corners of a busy mind, smoothing out jagged nerves and forging calm. This practice does more than settle nerves. It reinforces a vital Stoic principle. You control your attention. In those inaugural moments, before external demands arrive, you establish an inner sanctuary, a stronghold of clarity and calm. As you train this muscle of focus, you develop the capacity to return to it whenever life storms arise. A challenging email, an unexpected delay, or a tense conversation can all be met from this grounded place. To deepen the experience, weave in a simple count. Inhale for a slow count of 4, hold for 2, and then exhale for 6. The slight extension of the exhale signals to your nervous system that it may relax further. You might also silently repeat a short mantra at the peak of each inhalation, words like steadiness or equanimity, and let them fade into the silence of the exhale. Over time, these mantras become anchors, instantly inviting tranquility whenever uttered. As you conclude, remain seated for a moment in the afterglow of stillness. Notice how your heart beats, how the air feels against your skin, and how your posture subtly shifts when you move from inward focus back to the world. There is power in observing this transition. You carry the calm generated here into every action that follows. By dedicating this small window of time to intentional breathing, you weave mindfulness into the fabric of your morning. You affirm that before any external event, emails, news, social media, you will choose presence over chaos, clarity over distraction. This first act of self-governance sets the tone for the entire day, reminding you again and again that while you cannot control every circumstance, you can always choose how you respond. 2. Unearthing your Ikigai, discovering meaning at the intersection. In the sun-dappled villages of Okinawa, home to more centenarians than almost anywhere else on Earth, the concept of Ikigai breathes life into each new dawn. Ikigai, translated as a reason for being, invites you to uncover the unique confluence of passion, skill, societal need, and livelihood. When these four elements align, you awaken not merely to tasks, but to purpose. Begin this exploration with a journal and a clear, unhurried mind. Find a quiet spot, perhaps the same cushion you used for mindful breathing, and open your journal to a fresh page. In the center, draw 4 quadrants, each labeled with one of the Ikigai questions. What activities make me lose track of time? What talents do I naturally excel at? What does the world around me genuinely need? How might those offerings support me financially and sustain my life? Approach each quadrant as an ongoing investigation rather than a pop quiz you must ace immediately. On the first morning, you may find one quadrant leaps to life. Maybe your passion for storytelling overflows, or your knack for solving problems stands out. On another morning, a new insight may appear. The world needs empathetic listeners, and you flourish in that role. Allow these revelations to surface organically over days and weeks. As you jot down thoughts, resist the temptation to overanalyze or dismiss ideas as impractical. Record every nugget of inspiration, the childhood hobby you abandoned, the compliment friends frequently offer, the societal injustice that tugs at your heart. This expansive approach plants countless seeds, some of which will sprout unexpectedly into clarifying revelations. Once you've filled each quadrant, take a step back and look for overlaps. Perhaps there's a skill you excel in that also addresses a community need, writing instructional guides, coaching peers through challenges, or creating art that inspires collective healing. Then consider how these intersections might translate into work that both serves others and provides for you. Ask yourself, could I volunteer one afternoon to test this idea? Could I pitch a small project to friends or colleagues? Begin small experiments that feel meaningful. The true power of Ikigai emerges not from finding a single eureka moment, but from the process of persistent reflection and iteration. Each morning's journaling session refines your understanding, tightening the threads that connect you to meaningful action. As your awareness deepens, you'll notice subtle shifts. Tasks that once felt tedious now resonate with significance, and your energy levels rise as you direct effort toward endeavors aligned with your core. Over time, this practice transforms your morning routine from mundane checklists into a tapestry of intentional choices. The ritual of revisiting your Ikigai quadrants becomes a compass, guiding your priorities and decisions throughout the day. When distractions beckon, a glance at your insights recenters you on what truly matters. As you cultivate this clarity, you approach each sunrise fueled not just by caffeine or habit, but by the quiet confidence that today you will contribute something uniquely valuable to the unfolding story of your life. 3. The power of the night, cultivating evening practices. As the sun dips below the horizon and the day's final light fades, the Stoics' focus shifts from action to preparation. The evening is not merely the end of activity, but the fertile ground in which tomorrow's intentions take root. Imagine your night as an artist's palette. The colors you choose, restorative rituals or mindless scrolling, will blend and influence the masterpiece that is your waking morning. Begin by drawing a clear boundary between work and rest. At least 60 minutes before you plan to sleep, intentionally power down screens that emit blue light. This isn't about deprivation. It's about honoring the natural rhythms of your body. Reach for a novel rather than the news app. Pour yourself a cup of chamomile tea instead of another caffeinated drink, and let the gentle glow of a lamp or candle replace the harsh glare of electronics. As you settle into this tech-free window, create a sacred space within your bedroom. Perhaps you light a single candle, its flame flickering softly against the walls, or you place a small bowl of lavender on your bedside table. Let these sensory cues signal to your mind that the day's demands are behind you and that a period of calm introspection awaits. With your environment prepared, pick up your journal once more. In the stillness, reflect on the day that has passed. Ask yourself, what went well? What challenges arose? And how did I respond? Spend a few moments observing your reactions without judgment, noting areas of growth and moments where you might choose a different response tomorrow. This gentle debrief isn't about self-criticism. It's a way to glean lessons and bind them to memory, ensuring continuous improvement in your pursuit of virtue. Next, turn your attention to tomorrow's horizon. On a fresh page, list your top 3 priorities, those tasks that align with your broader purpose and will move you forward meaningfully. Articulate them in actionable language. Write the first draft of my presentation on Thursday morning. Or spend 20 uninterrupted minutes brainstorming ideas for the community project. By externalizing these intentions, you quiet the mind's penchant for repetitive loops, allowing sleep to arrive more readily. After setting your plan, cultivate gratitude. Write down 3 specific experiences from the day for which you feel thankful: the warmth of morning sunlight on your skin, a colleague's encouraging words, or the simple pleasure of a well-prepared meal. Pause on each point, closing your eyes and letting the positive emotion wash over you. These reflections rewire neural pathways to favor abundance over scarcity, priming your subconscious to continue this practice even as you dream. To deepen relaxation, introduce a tactile ritual. Run your fingers over a smooth piece of wood or a soft fabric, or cradle a warm mug in your hands. Engage fully with the texture, temperature, and weight. Sensory details anchor you in the present moment and carry you gently into slumber. Finally, perform a brief breathing exercise similar to your morning practice, but with a longer exhalation. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 2, then exhale for 8. Let each breath ease your body deeper into the mattress. Imagine tension dissolving and gratitude expanding. As you close your eyes, allow all concerns to settle like sediment in a pond, leaving the water clear and still. By gifting these intentional practices to your evening, you prepare the soil for a morning of flourishing. The mind that rests with clarity awakens with purpose, and the body that unwinds with intention rises with energy. In Stoicism, as in gardening, the quality of the harvest depends on the care invested in the planting, and the nighttime rituals you cultivate will guide every seed of intention you sow at dawn. 4. Rising with discipline, the first act of will. When your alarm pierces the pre-dawn hush, you stand at a daily crossroads. Will you succumb to the siren call of just 5 more minutes, or will you rise and seize the morning as your own? In Stoic philosophy, discipline underpins freedom. Every time you resist a minor impulse, like the temptation to hit snooze, you strengthen your capacity to master greater challenges. This first act of will becomes a touchstone, reminding you that you determine your course, rather than passively drifting in response to external forces. Consider the simple yet profound technique of strategic friction. Place your alarm clock or phone at the far edge of your room. Before the day can begin, you must physically move, planting your feet on the floor, breaking the cocoon of sleep. In that moment of purposeful motion, you make a choice to govern yourself with intention. Feel your muscles awaken as you stand. Sense the coolness of the floor beneath your toes. Each small step toward the alarm is a step toward self-mastery. As soon as you turn off the noise, resist the impulse to check notifications. Instead, take a moment to stand tall, feet hip-width apart, and draw in a deep, steady breath. Lift your chin, roll your shoulders back, and visualize the day ahead, not as a laundry list of obligations, but as a canvas awaiting your brushstrokes. This posture of presence signals to your mind and body that you are alert, engaged, and ready to act. Next, transition into movement. Stretch your arms overhead, interlace your fingers, and reach toward the ceiling as if greeting the sun. Feel the lengthening along your sides and the gentle opening in your chest. Then hinge at your hips, fold forward, and let gravity pull your torso toward your thighs. If your flexibility allows, lightly touch the floor. If not, then simply rest your hands on your shins. Hold this position for a few breaths, noticing any tightness in your hamstrings or lower back, and imagine those areas releasing tension. Once you stand up, engage in a brief sequence of mobility to fully awaken your joints, rolling your neck in slow circles, rotating your wrists and ankles, and turning your torso from side to side. This ritual of movement is not mere gymnastics. It's an invitation to inhabit your body with awareness, bridging the gap between night's inertia and day's activity. Now, move to your bed and take 2 moments to make it. Straighten the sheets, smooth the comforter, fluff the pillows. This act, seemingly trivial, holds great symbolic power. By caring for your immediate environment, you affirm that you care for yourself. You send a message to your subconscious that order, respect, and self-dignity matter, setting an energetic tone that will ripple through every subsequent task. With blankets tucked and pillows fluffed, pause again at the threshold of your morning. Place your hands on your hips, roll your shoulders, and take another mindful breath. Acknowledge the significance of this ritual. Each time you rise with intent, you declare your commitment to a life led by purpose rather than impulse. You fortify your character, one small, disciplined choice at a time. In the grand tapestry of your day, this moment, when sleep's pull is strongest and resolve first tested, becomes the foundation upon which all else is built. Through this disciplined rising, you affirm your role as the architect of your experience, equipped with the inner fortitude to face whatever challenges lie ahead. And as you step forward into the dawn, you carry with you the steadfast assurance that you are, at every instant, capable of choosing excellence. The sanctuary of solitude, shielding your focus. In the hours after sunrise, you hold a precious commodity, undiluted attention. Yet if you grab your phone first, that focus will be siphoned away. Email, news, social media, each demanding a piece of your mind. Instead, create a digital boundary. Silence notifications, place your phone out of arm's reach, or activate a do not disturb setting until you complete your morning rituals. This is not a rejection of technology, but a declaration. You will decide when to engage and when to remain in solitude. So what occupies this sacred time? Perhaps you journal, capturing insights from your breathing practice, outlining your day, or exploring ideas sparked by your Ikigai reflections. Or you open a classical philosophy text, savoring Stoic passages that remind you of your agency. Maybe you venture outside for a brisk walk, rooting your gratitude with every step. Whatever stirs your mind and spirit, protect these moments fiercely. They become the foundation for composure and creativity throughout your day. 5. The sanctuary of solitude, shielding your focus. In the hours after sunrise, before the world's demands cascade in, you hold a precious commodity, undiluted attention. Yet if you grab your phone first, that attention is immediately parceled out. Email threads beckoning replies, news alerts stoking anxiety, and social media nudging you into comparison. To safeguard this early morning clarity, you must erect a sanctuary of solitude, a buffer zone between your waking mind and the digital clamor beyond. Begin by designating a specific space and time for your offline practices. Perhaps it's the corner of your living room, bathed in morning light, or a cozy chair next to a window where the breeze drifts in. Set an intention. For the next 60 minutes, this space is sacred. No pings, no screens, no interruptions. Physically place your phone on Do Not Disturb mode and tuck it away, or even better, keep it in another room. If you share your space, signal to others by lighting a candle or draping a cloth over your device, a visual cue that you have retreated into a zone of focus. Within this sanctuary, you choose the rhythm of your mind. Perhaps you reach for a pen in your journal, recalling insights from your breath meditation, and write down any fresh thoughts or ideas. Let your pen flow freely. There is no right or wrong here, only the act of capturing your inner landscape. As words fill the page, notice how the act of writing draws your scattered thoughts into coherent shapes, like a conductor bringing diverse instruments into harmony. Alternatively, you might open a classical text, Epictetus's Enchiridion, Seneca's Letters, or Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, allowing ancient wisdom to echo through your morning. Read a passage slowly, savoring each line. Pause to reflect. What does this teach me about my mind? How might I apply this principle to the day ahead? By engaging deeply with a single text, you train your mind to linger on ideas rather than flit between pings and pop-ups. For those who crave movement, this sanctuary can extend to a mindful walk. Step outside and feel the dew beneath your feet or the cool morning air on your skin. Walk with intention, noticing each footfall, the arc of your arms, and the rhythm of your breath. As you move, maintain an inner dialogue of gratitude or purpose, perhaps silently reciting a mantra like, I am present or I am capable. This moving meditation merges physical vitality with mental focus, preparing you to navigate the world with both strength and tranquility. If creativity stirs, you might sketch, paint, or play an instrument, whatever channels your intuition into tangible form. These activities demand your full attention, drawing you into a state of flow that tightens the seams of your focus and primes you for the challenges of the day. No matter the chosen activity, the key is continuity. From the first moment you open your eyes to the completion of this hour, your intention remains singular, to cultivate presence. Each time your mind drifts toward outside demands, gently steer it back, as a gardener prunes wandering vines. Over days and weeks, this practice fortifies your capacity to remain engaged, even when email chimes or notifications buzz. When the hour concludes, pause once more. With your eyes closed, take 3 deep breaths, feeling how your heart rate has steadied and your thoughts have sharpened. Open your eyes and smile. This is your gift to yourself, a sanctuary of solitude nestled at the dawn of possibility. As you re-enter the flow of daily life, carry this clarity with you, remembering that you can always return to this inner quiet, even amid the stormiest moments. The Stoic mindset, focusing on what's within your control. Epictetus taught that our suffering arises when we chase externals, wealth, status, approval, instead of cultivating inner virtues. When you recognize that the only things truly within your control are your thoughts, attitudes, and actions, you shift from victimhood to empowerment. Practice negative visualization each morning. Spend a minute imagining a challenge, an overdue deadline, an argument with a loved one, or even the loss of a valued possession. Rather than breeding anxiety, this exercise inoculates you. By mentally rehearsing adversity, you reduce its power to surprise or unsettle you. Moreover, when you return to reality, you feel gratitude for what you still possess. This dual effect, preparation and appreciation, fortifies your resilience. The storms of life may rage, but you stand prepared, your inner equilibrium intact. 6. The Stoic mindset, focusing on what's within your control. Ancient Stoics taught that while we cannot command the winds and waves of external events, we can captain the ship of our minds. Epictetus reminded his students that our suffering does not stem from what happens to us, but from how we interpret and respond. When you internalize this principle, you shift from victimhood to empowerment. You recognize that the only realms truly under your governance are your thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Begin each morning with a gentle reminder of this boundary. Draw an invisible line between what you can influence, your intentions, effort, and perspective, and what lies beyond your reach, other people's opinions, the weather, or sudden traffic jams. Take a pen and write 2 columns on a sheet of paper. On the left, list aspects of your day that are within control. On the right, list what is not. Observe how the left column brims with actionable items, your breath, your posture, your choice to respond with patience. In contrast, the right column, though filled with real concerns, dissolves in significance once you accept they cannot be altered by will alone. With this map in hand, practice negative visualization, a cornerstone exercise that both prepares you for adversity and amplifies gratitude. Close your eyes and envision a scenario that unsettles you, perhaps a sudden project setback, a missed train, or the loss of a cherished possession. Hold the image for a few moments, allowing the emotions to surface without resisting them. Then imagine adapting. You calmly troubleshoot an alternative solution. You find a moment of beauty in the delay, or you cherish the memories tied to what's lost. Rather than breeding dread, this rehearsal inoculates you against panic. When real challenges arise, you'll find yourself less surprised, less shaken, because you have already met them in the theater of your mind. Moreover, as you return to the present, you feel a surge of appreciation for the everyday blessings that remain. Sunlight streaming through the window, the hum of a working computer, the simple pleasure of a hot beverage in hand. Between visualizations, anchor yourself with a Stoic affirmation. Repeat silently, "This is within my power," when focusing on your responses. "And this is beyond my power," when acknowledging uncontrollable events. This dual mantra trains your mind to allocate energy wisely toward purposeful action rather than fruitless worry. To deepen the exercise, integrate it into your morning sanctuary. After journaling your Ikigai insights or reading a Stoic text, spend 2 to 3 minutes on negative visualization. Notice the fluidity of your emotions as you shift from imagining loss to embracing gratitude and resolved action. With practice, this mental agility becomes automatic. In the face of real-life stressors, your mind instinctively circles back to what you can control: your attitude, your next step, your sense of calm. Remember, too, that Stoicism venerates both reflection and action. After your visualization, translate insights into practical strategies. If you fear a missed deadline, draft a contingency plan. If you imagine a tense conversation, prepare questions to foster understanding. By coupling mental rehearsal with concrete planning, you harness the full power of the Stoic mindset. Ultimately, this daily discipline fosters a resilient inner citadel. When external chaos swirls, unexpected emails, interpersonal tensions, or global uncertainties, you stand anchored, your inner life undisturbed by the storms. You will not feign indifference to hardship, but you will respond from a place of clarity, virtue, and composure, embodying the very essence of Stoic wisdom. 7. Self-compassion and discipline, the balance of kindness and rigor. In the pursuit of excellence, it is all too easy to slip into self-criticism, wielding harsh words as though they were a tool for progress. Yet the Stoics understood that true growth flourishes in the soil of kindness as much as it does under the sunlight of discipline. Marcus Aurelius, in his private reflections, frequently reminded himself that patience and compassion for one's missteps are not signs of weakness, but hallmarks of wisdom. Imagine you have resolved to rise at dawn, yet the next morning you awaken to find the sun already high in the sky. Your temptation may be to chastise yourself. "I'm lazy, I failed again," and sink back into self-reproach. Instead, pause and treat yourself as you would a close friend. Acknowledge the slip with a gentle tone. "I missed my target today, and that's okay. What happened?" By shifting from blame to curiosity, you open space for understanding. Perhaps you needed more rest, or your prior evening's plans were unrealistic. Identify the root cause without judgment. From this compassionate stance, ask, "What can I learn?" If late night screen time left you groggy, plan to wind down earlier tomorrow. If you set too many priorities, refine them to one central task. Then let go of any lingering guilt. Each sunrise is an invitation to begin again, unburdened by yesterday's errors. Self-compassion does not imply leniency toward inaction. It coexists with rigorous commitment. Think of a martial artist. They train daily, push past discomfort, and yet they do not berate themselves for missteps. They acknowledge fatigue, adjust their form, and return to the practice with renewed determination. Similarly, you honor your humanity while steadfastly moving toward your goals. To nurture this balance, incorporate a brief morning reflection. After your breathing or journaling practice, place a hand on your heart and silently speak 3 affirmations of compassion and commitment. Phrases like, "I forgive myself for yesterday," "I am capable of growth today," and "I step forward with purpose." Let these words settle in your mind as you plan your day. Another powerful technique is writing a self-compassionate letter. Once a week, find a quiet moment to write to yourself as if you were comforting a friend. Acknowledge your successes, recognize your struggles, and offer encouragement for what lies ahead. This ritual rewires neural pathways, strengthening the habit of kindness toward your efforts. Remember, too, that small setbacks are not derailments, but data points. Each misstep teaches you about your limits, habits, and needs. Embrace them as part of the process. When you face a challenging day, return to this mantra: progress over perfection. Let it remind you that consistent effort, even imperfect, ultimately molds character more effectively than sporadic bursts of flawless performance. Over time, the interplay of discipline and compassion refines your resilience. You will find that moments of struggle are met not with self-loathing, but with a steady gaze, clear analysis, and a gentle resolve. Your practice becomes not a source of anxiety, but a conduit for self-discovery and continual improvement. In this balanced approach, you honor both the Stoic imperative to cultivate virtue and the universal truth of our shared human fallibility. 8. Accountability. Strength through partnership. We often laud self-reliance as the pinnacle of personal growth, yet even the strongest oak stands among a forest, its roots intertwined with countless others. In Stoic philosophy, community and mentorship were vital. Seneca penned letters of counsel to friends. Epictetus guided students in open forums, and Marcus Aurelius benefited immensely from the wisdom of his tutors. Like those ancient sages, you too can harness the power of partnership to amplify your journey toward mindful mornings and purposeful living. Begin by identifying a potential accountability partner, someone who shares your drive for self-improvement and appreciates the value of consistent effort. This might be a friend who's committed to daily journaling, a workout buddy aiming for early morning runs, or a colleague determined to minimize screen time before bed. The essential criterion is mutual dedication. You both invest in each other's success with empathy, honesty, and respect. Once you've chosen your partner, craft a simple framework for your collaboration. Agree on a cadence of check-ins that fits your lives, daily text messages, bi-weekly phone calls, or even weekend video chats. In each touch point, begin with a moment of celebration. Acknowledge wins, however small. Did you complete 5 mindful breaths every morning? Did you stick to your evening tech boundary? Express genuine enthusiasm for these achievements. Positive reinforcement fuels motivation and cements new habits. Following the celebrations, share challenges without fear of judgment. Honesty is the bedrock of accountability. If you overslept twice this week or missed your gratitude journaling, articulate what got in the way. Then invite your partner to offer supportive suggestions, perhaps adjusting your bedtime or experimenting with a different journaling format. Similarly, you can provide constructive feedback when they stumble, offering fresh perspectives and creative solutions drawn from your own experience. To deepen your bond, consider shared rituals. Maybe you start each morning by sending a photo of your journal entry or a snapshot of your made bed. Or you end each evening with a brief voice note reflecting on what you're grateful for. These rituals transform abstract commitments into tangible actions, and the simple act of sharing creates a sense of togetherness, even if you're separated by miles. Accountability partnership also opens doors to co-learning. Read a Stoic text in tandem, Seneca's letters, for instance, and discuss one passage each week. Share how you applied its teachings in your morning routine. These discussions broaden your perspective, spark new ideas, and reinforce the principles that fuel your discipline. Finally, remember that partnership is a two-way street. Celebrate your partner's victories with the same zest you crave for your own. Listen with full attention when they voice frustrations. Offer empathy before advice, acknowledging that growth is rarely linear. By nurturing each other's aspirations, you weave a tapestry of shared resilience, transforming solitary habits into a collective journey. Through accountability, your morning routines cease to be isolated acts of will and instead become communal commitments, echoes of ancient Stoic fellowship. In the supportive mirror of another's dedication, you see your progress more clearly and feel the sustaining warmth of mutual encouragement. Together, you forge a path of intention and virtue, fortified by the understanding that while discipline begins within, it flourishes most fully in the company of kindred spirits. 9. Reflecting on mortality. Live each day as a gift. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. Might initially strike the mind as a solemn admonition, yet for the Stoics, it unlocked a profound liberation. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reminded himself of life's fleeting nature, not to induce dread, but to galvanize purposeful action. When morning light spills across your room, take a moment, eyes closed or gazing softly out the window, to reflect. If today were my last sunrise, how would I choose to spend it? In that instant, priorities crystallize as clearly as stars against a midnight sky. Begin by naming with unflinching honesty the pursuits that truly matter. Kindness extended to strangers, laughter shared with friends, meaningful work that leaves an imprint on the world, and tender moments of self-care that honor your body and mind. Feel the potency of these thoughts as they settle in the core of your being. With this awareness, you step into the day as a custodian of fleeting time, empowered to allocate each heartbeat toward what endures beyond any single moment. To deepen this morning rite, weave in a short journaling exercise. After your breath meditation or sanctuary hour, open your journal and write a brief entry headed with the date and the title, Last Day. Pen 2 or 3 sentences that capture how you would spend these final hours, perhaps offering a heartfelt note to a loved one, completing a creative project, or simply savoring the sensation of walking barefoot on grass. These words anchor the urgency of living intentionally. As you close the journal, pause to internalize the message. Life's brevity amplifies every choice. A traffic slowdown transforms from frustration to an opportunity for a short gratitude reflection, perhaps appreciating the blue of the sky through the windshield. An abrupt work conflict becomes a moment to practice patience and empathy, remembering that relationships hold more weight than fleeting disagreements. Throughout the day, carry an impermanent token, a smooth pebble from your windowsill or a small ribbon tied around your wrist, as a tactile reminder of memento mori. Each time you touch it, reconnect with the promise to infuse your actions with purpose and presence. Feel the texture under your fingertips, and let it prompt a brief return to intentional living. Reflecting on mortality also nudges you toward compassion. If today were your last, whom would you choose to forgive? Which grievances would you release? This exercise dissolves petty resentments, freeing emotional energy for acts of generosity and connection. In Stoic thought, forgiveness is not passive, but an active release, a conscious decision to unburden your heart and cultivate harmony. Finally, acknowledge that living as though today were your last does not mean rushing through life at breakneck speed. Instead, it means savoring each moment with full awareness, drinking in the aroma of your morning coffee, feeling gratitude for the breath in your lungs, and listening intently when someone speaks. It means recognizing that time is both a gift and a responsibility. By weaving memento mori into your morning practice, you transform the abstract concept of mortality into a guiding principle. You sharpen your focus, align your intentions with what truly matters, and live each day not as a passive bystander, but as an active, mindful participant in the grand tapestry of life. 10. Closing the day with gratitude, seeding tomorrow's peace. As night falls and the world slows its frantic pace, it's a precious time to close the day with gratitude and gentle reflection. Evening is not just a pause for the body to rest. It's an invitation to reconnect with yourself, to honor what is past, and to plant seeds of peace for tomorrow. The Stoics remind us that every night can become a sacred ritual, a ritual that not only ends today, but also nurtures the calm that will carry you forward. Begin by taking a deep, slow breath. Allow yourself to release any tension that might still be clinging to your body. Remind yourself that everything you did today, every success and every misstep, was part of your journey. Embrace it as it is, without judgment, without regret, simply witnessing it and giving thanks. In this stillness, take time to appreciate the small, meaningful moments that often get overlooked. Maybe it was a heartfelt conversation, a moment of laughter, or a rare pocket of peace amid the day's chaos. Gratitude is more than a fleeting feeling. It's a mindset, a deliberate choice to see your life through a lens of abundance and love. When you choose gratitude, you're no longer consumed by what's missing or imperfect. Instead, you focus on what you have and what you've lived. Once you've reflected and expressed your thanks, let the quiet wrap around you like a comforting blanket. Nighttime doesn't have to be a space for regret or worry. It can become a haven to breathe, rest, and heal. Ask yourself, what am I proud of today? Or what can I improve upon tomorrow? There's no need to rush to answer. Simply let the question rest like a seed in your heart, ready to sprout in tomorrow's light. Finally, write down or silently name 3 things you're grateful for today. By doing this, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious. I am enough. I am growing. I am alive. Each word of thanks becomes a small flame, lighting up the darkness and guiding your way forward. And when the morning light returns, you'll rise not only with a rested body, but also with a heart nurtured by gratitude and a spirit eager to embrace the day ahead. Remember that ending the day is not just about sleep. It's an opportunity to come home to yourself, fully and honestly. It's a gift you give yourself each night, one that will carry you through tomorrow with renewed peace and purpose. Let gratitude be the bridge that connects today's lessons with tomorrow's possibilities. Let it remind you always that in the simple act of giving thanks, you're shaping a life filled with more light and more grace than you ever imagined. Remember that Stoicism is not a rigid code, but a living philosophy. Adapt these strategies to your unique life and needs. Some days, a brisk walk may replace journaling. Other days, extended reading may supplant meditation. What matters is not perfect adherence, but the steady cultivation of intentional, virtuous living. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. Each morning offers a fresh canvas. Let your first strokes be calm, purposeful, and guided by wisdom. Over days, months, and years, these small strokes compose a masterpiece, a life of courage, compassion, and contentment, shaped not by external fortune, but by the unshakable strength of your mind.